Welcome back to Clicks and Coffee. Today I'm excited to introduce Leslie Williams, the driving force behind Next Step Senior Solution in Cedar, Minnesota. Leslie is dedicated to providing comprehensive support for seniors and their family during life transitions. Next Step Senior Solution offers a wide range of services, including real estate assistance, downsizing, move management, and aging in place solutions. Leslie's compassionate approach ensures that each client receives personalized care tailored to their unique needs. I'm eager to discuss her journey, the services provided by Next Step Senior Solutions, and her insights into the evolving landscape of senior care slash living. Leslie, welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I thank you for everything that you do, and this is just a great opportunity.
All right, so since this podcast is about you, I'm curious to understand what was the inspiration behind starting your company, because I know you started a couple months ago. So first of all, congrats. And so, can you tell us a little bit about like how you got inspired to start this business and how did your journey in senior care, you know, shaped that decision?
Yep, absolutely. I have been in the senior services for close to 30 years. And I started out in the skilled environment, so in the transitional care, TCU end of things, along with the long term. And I was positioned in the hospitals quite a bit, which was very, very um, important to really understand how hospitals work and how you need to really um, become strategic on how to work with one another to be able to help the hospital systems along with the skilled nursing communities that I was representing. Then I went into the senior housing. I had a niche to see what it was like and how to really grow that side of myself and to open up a new community, which then I was able to open up a brand new community to build that community awareness, to really understand what families are going through, and then to really work with the other disciplines involved in the industry from your hospice, home care, and all those other disciplines to really mold the community and to fill that community as well. And then I went into the hospice industry, and that was a powerful benefit to really understand what that means and what that looks like. And I have, and I honestly believe that in my past, I was a young teenager and I lost my mom to cancer. And so
Mhm.
I have an extra bond with the seniors. I love them. And they're like all my grandparents that I never had, and mom and all that. So then with all of the knowledge that I've had, I decided to look at how I can be different and put a spin within the industry. And because the company that I opened, which is Next Step Senior Solutions, is I with the spin that I put on it, the traditional way is it is free to a family that is looking to make a move and to find a new home if they're unable to remain in their own home. And so what I've done is I'm talking to the management companies that own the senior housings. They have multiple housings, and they actually love working with me because of my idea on cutting prices because I get paid through the management companies when I place somebody within their portfolio. So I interview each of the management companies and they interview me, and they like my philosophy, and my intention is that I am cutting the cost to save the bottom line, because I have the thought process of is, and I see where there's an opportunity to help the current residents that are in the communities, the ones that could be possibly moving in, and of course the team members that are working in the communities, is by cutting my prices, they are able to give back to um, to those three disciplines and really show that it's not about me, it's about the individuals that are moving in, current residents, and again the team. So that's really my true passion and my love.
No, and then what's great is like you really, I would say experienced or lived through all of the stages of senior living. So that gives you a very unique perspective on, what to expect and helping people, because at the end of the day, um, people when they make the decision, they don't really know what's going to happen most of the time. No matter how many blogs you read or anything, it's always better to have somebody that been there, done that kind of things,
Yeah,
and can help. And so um I know before we started this podcast, we're talking that it's not only placing people, it's really your a resource for anything to help people you know grow older, and really helping them. So could you share like a success story that you've had, I would say, on that side of things?
yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting with the knowledge and the amount of different families that I've come across, is everyone is there, they throw their arms up in the air and they have no idea where to start, where to go, and what to do. So with the different resources that are available, I like to say I kind of have like have an offshoot of team members, that they aren't my team, but I work with them closely. I've interviewed them to determine that they would be excellent to work with the families that I suggest. So, from home care companies to hospice companies to real estate agents to moving companies, to even somebody that comes into the home and works on individuals' feet. So, home like a foot doctor, and even to meals being delivered. So it's all of those resources that can be intertwined to make that move smooth and simple. And even if the family, like you had said, is not ready to move, because it is a hard decision, and to be able to walk alongside that individual when they're ready, they will be ready along with the family. So to give all of those resources. There was just a time, and it just not even 3 weeks ago, I was working with a family, and the wife is in Arizona for the time being, and the husband is here. And so to be able to coordinate from long distance to here, he was in the hospital and needed to find a, a spot quite quickly. So it's organizing. Communication is key when you're working with families, to be able to have them understand what the apartment looks like, to make sure that their loved one is going to be safe, and to coordinate everything without even having family up here that can
So
be
you
that.
really become the family.
Yeah, you do. I love that. So true. So true. Yeah, because usually people will have an extra set of eyes and ears to help listen, but it was literally over the phone, and doing everything via with the technology we have with FaceTiming and all that. But no, it was it was rewarding to know that he's safe and he is thriving, and to hear the wife in Arizona just be jumping up and down. So yeah, so it that's one of the big success stories within the last couple of weeks.
No, that's really amazing. And so we're talking about quickly, but then not quickly. How, like, what are the, I would say, like, how quickly can you help people transition, and then, but theoretically, when should you start considering, or like, what do you see the average time to do it, or the time that people should do it?
Yep, great question. it, to me, you should interview different resources to make it all things accepted, and you know exactly where to go, what to do. So interview your different disciplines from the assisted living, home care, hospice before a crisis happens, because I've had so many families throwing their arms up in the air. Someone had a fall, they were lying on the floor for 8 hours, they became dehydrated, they are unable to do steps anymore because they're so much more weaker. So before a crisis happens, please make sure that you go and have me talk to, take me along with you so I can be that extra set of eyes. I can help the interview process, and just be aware of the different solutions that are out there, so it's not a crisis and you're ready to make that move or hire on that extra resource to be at home. Whatever decision that is made between the family. Be prepared.
So yeah, don't wait for the accident
Yeah.
to start looking.
Yeah, yeah.
Get
We
ready.
always, yeah, we always think that it's not going to happen to us.
Oh yeah, but that's normal.
Yes, amen.
Not me.
Right, not me. No way.
And so, we've seen over the past decade, I would say, and even like in the last 5 years, and with COVID, that things have, I would say, like COVID really made um, a big change, and not just in the medical side of things, or like the preparedness side of things, but really forced people to have alternative plans, using, like, being forced to use technology. So I had discussion where they had to completely change by iPads to so people could see their loved ones and everything. So how did you see, I would say, in the last 5 years, things changing, and how are you adapting your company to those changes? Because I think it's going to get more and more, as we all phones and computers really are now ubiquitous. So it's just a matter of how do we do in the future, and
Yeah,
how do we prepare for that?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Where I've seen the most changes, and it's interesting, I was just talking about this to a couple of different industry uh, co people, and we were talking about just space within the assisted living and memory care communities, even along with the skilled environment. So when I always say skilled environment, it brings back to, if you happen to have a procedure done and you need to have strengthening, so the TCU piece of things to be able to go back home, is that the beds in TCUs are full. They're always full, and it takes a long time to be able to find that spot to be able to go ahead and have more rehab to become stronger. So keep that in mind. So always remember to take care of yourself so nothing tragic happens. Along with, when it comes to even in assisted living, memory care has been full. It's really hard to find the memory care spots, along with, believe it or not, the 2 bedroom. So 2 bedrooms are hard to find. So just again, be prepared. Do something before a crisis happens, and just be aware with different things. Along with what I've seen too is the financial piece of things. It all depends on what company that you are looking at into moving within an assisted living, where Minnesota is real has some great resources, and to understand which communities are private pay, and then also, if they have I like to call it the state funded programs. There are communities here in Minnesota that work with the state funded programs. So it works really well regardless of where you are on a financial position as well. So there's a lot between the finances the availability with apartments being, along with even the skilled nursing end of things to become stronger to be able to go back home. Everything is so full. Even the hospitals are just full. People are waiting in the hallways to get a room with the beds being on the outside of the emergency room. I mean, it's just it's a different world. It is a truly different world from 5 years, 10 years ago.
And how do you see the I would say the near future? Do you see a lot of construction in the area for um, new centers?
Yep. With the communities, yes, we have a lot of different communities being built, but with the beds, the so-called beds in the skilled nursing, along with the hospitals, there isn't. So it makes it quite challenging when there is a crisis. Ambulances are always diverting into the different hospitals and things, but it's scary. But there are a lot of buildings within the assisted livings being built, so which is good.
And so, how do you keep, because we know that it's ever evolving and changing. How do you keep yourself informed of all the new developments and the new communities, and which are the good ones and which are the bad ones? Like how, because we know that we have Google reviews or Yelp or anything or whatever we can find online, but does that really represent the truth? And how do you ensure that somebody is going to the right place?
Yep, that's a great question. I have developed some questions. So in order to find the best place that is best fit for an individual and their family as to what they find is important, I do have a full list of different questions to ask when we do go and tour and um, and ask those questions when you're there. So again, be prepared. Check out all of the different websites and the Google reviews and things. And it's hard. Sometimes the way that I look at it is if a review is 6 months or older, typically what I have seen and I've been a part of is that the change in staff is key. What have they done with what the review was? If it was a negative review, what have they done to change things and bring up those past things that have been done to really understand what kind of new process that they put into place to make it a safe environment and to be a reputable new environment that they should have done something. So make sure that all of those questions are asked. And then what have I done to help individuals with the resource with all of the changes is I am a person that I am constantly, I like to say boots to the ground out there, so then they can call me. And it's just continually to go to the management companies and interviewing them as to what they have done, why they are doing things, and how they are being different in today's market as well. And it's me continuing to interview them to keep me informed as to what's going on. It's a true, this industry, if communication is not of the utmost importance, you're missing out on a big huge ball game out there. So
So
yeah,
you so
yeah,
you really try to keep everybody close.
yes, and I like to have fun, and that's key too.
And so, looking ahead, what are your goals with Next Step Senior Solution, and how do you envision the future of senior care?
Yep, good question. I would love to continue to grow and to help as many families as I can, and to hire on some team members in the near future. And just again, communication and to be aware of new things that are coming abroad. And yeah, that I mean, really, honestly, it's just it's having an understanding as to what's going on where I can help out with specific disciplines within the hospital system and the TCUs to discharge somebody sooner rather than later to help free and open up the beds in both of the disciplines with the hospitals and the TCUs and have them either stay at home with home care or move into an assisted living and make the best choice that fits around the whole scope of the family and their loved one.
That's very, very nice. And so if people in Minnesota or thinking of moving to Minnesota need help, how can they find you or how can they contact you?
Yep, I love my phone, so go ahead and call me. Which is my phone number is 763-742-5475, or my email is Leslie at nextstepseniorsolutions.com, or I'm sorry, .org. Sorry.
Perfect. And I know that you're working on the website, but being an entrepreneur is always juggling with 50 different things.
Yes.
It's like doing the work, but also preparing the work and then
Yes.
everything. So no, that's always so. But when can we expect the website to be ready?
Yep, I would say it's almost the end of February already. I would say sometime in March or beginning of April, somewhere in that scope.
But anyway, the website is more kind of like a window of your business, but truly what you love is people calling you.
Yes, communication, huge.
And maybe an email.
Yes, yes. And emails works just fine. And I love to dialogue either by the phone or email.
And what will be your email?
Yep, it's Leslie at nextstepseniorsolutions.org.
We'll have that in the description, and we'll make sure to tag you in LinkedIn so that way people, they cannot miss you and they will find you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Now, Leslie, thank you so much. It's so nice to know that we have you in that part of the U.S. and make sure that anybody looking for the next steps, pun intended, they have a good resource and make sure that they can do it in a way that is going to make sense for them and make sure, because that's always the more stressful is takes time, and it's always, I would say, it becomes it's a problem because we let it become a problem. And so having people like you, I would say, almost make that problem go away, or at least that as much as possible. So thank you for what you're doing, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your website and to have you back on the show sometimes.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for getting the word out and having a resource for people all over the world. And yeah, I'm super excited for you.